Hi everybody, TJ Callan here with Callan's Crafting Studio and welcome to my channel. If you've been here before, thank you for coming back, and if you're new to my channel, please subscribe. And if you want to be notified anytime I post new content, you can click on the little bell notification. And as always, if you like my videos and find them helpful, please give me a thumbs up. I appreciate it. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to layer vinyl. I made this little sign for my mom and her motorhome and her RV that they travel in. And I did 3 different layers of vinyl, so I wanted to show you how to do that using registration marks. And a registration mark allows you to make sure you're lining up your layers properly. So that's what we're gonna do today. So let's get started. Okay, I've opened up my Design Space beta app. So I am using this in the beta app that they've recently launched that you can work offline and don't have to have an internet connection if you have your project saved offline and not to the cloud. And you can certainly still work within the one that's web-based too. So this is version 5.2.14. Not sure that's important, but that's the one that I'm working in. And I've used the black background simply as a frame of reference and for placement and sizing of how I want my vinyl to be laid out on the sign. So this is not the exact same design, but it's pretty darn close to the one that I'm using, and the measurements of it were 10 by 8, so I went ahead and set that. But for now, I don't need this black background because I'm not going to be cutting that, so I'm going to turn that off by clicking the little eyeball over here. So now we just have what is going to cut, and I have, if you can see, I have 3 different layers of vinyl. If you go to Color Sync, I have what's going to be a gold, an off-white, and a blue. Okay. And what we're going to do is we're going to insert something that's referred to as a registration mark. You can use any shape that you want. I'm going to use a square. I'm just going to add this in here, and I'm going to bring it down a little bit smaller. And we're going to put it up here. And it's not really that important that it's centered because you're really just going to be lining them all up, but you kind of want to put it in the center of your project. I'm just going to eyeball it. You could certainly select it all and then say align center horizontally, and that'll move it over for you. Okay. And then what we want to do is we want to grab everything and we want to group it together. And now, because we have 3 different colors and 3 different layers, I'm going to move it over and I'm going to duplicate this image 3 times. So 1, actually just 2 times, I'm sorry, excuse me, because we want 3 of them. Okay, so now we have 3 separate ones. Let me bring this down a little bit smaller so I can get it on the screen. Okay, and now you see this, pull it over a little bit more. Okay, now we have our 3 layers. So we're going to work with the first one, and we're going to go ahead, and you can either hide or delete. I don't like to have all these extra layers that aren't here, so I like to delete. So the first thing we're going to do is go into this one, and we're going to want to take the very top, the little box, and make it the same color as the cream. So I'm going to go there, and I'm going to click on the color up here. And your colors that are in your project are already set up here for you, which I really like this about the newer versions of Design Space. So you can just quickly click on that, and you can see that changed that box to that color. So now the rest of it, anything that's not going to be in that layer, I want to go ahead and remove. So you see I have this grouped here. So I'm going to click on the gold layer and just simply hit the delete key on my keyboard, or you could just hide it, but I like to delete it. I'm going to delete that out, and I'm going to delete the blue layer as well. So you can see over here to the right, and delete that one. So now all we have left is what's going to cut in the off-white color. Now we're going to go to the next one, and this one we're going to get rid of all of the off-white. Well, first we'll make this the gold layer. So I'm going to go ahead and select the square, go up to the top left and change the color to the gold color. Then I'm going to go back over to my group, and I'm going to remove anything that's not gold. So I'm going to go ahead and remove the blue layer, and I'm going to remove all of my off-white layers, which includes the text and this last one there. So now we just have the back part of the RV and the gold up top, and over here we're going to do it for the blue layer. So again, click on the square in that particular group, change it to the blue, click over here, and get rid of anything that's not blue. One, let's see here. Make sure you're always working in the right group because I have grabbed the wrong one sometimes. And we'll get rid of the gray layer. There we go. So now we have our three groups. So, but we need to attach these instead of just grouping them, because what would happen is if you go to make it, you'll see it's not going to line up on each of the mats where that little box should be. See, the box is here. Well, we don't want it there. We need it to be in the same spot on all three. So when we lay them on top of each other, we're going to make sure that they line up correctly. So I'm going to cancel that. And we're just going to simply grab each of these by clicking, holding your mouse, left click and hold it down. And then down at the bottom right, choose attach. Grab this one, same thing, choose attach. And then this one and attach. And you'll see now here at each layer, it also says attach in addition to group. And that's just fine. So we've got the blue, the gold, and the off-white. So now when we click make it, you'll see here's your registration mark at the top of each one of these, and that will help us line them up. Now, this does waste some material because when you're going to cut it out and weed it, you're going to lose all of this that's here in the center, which is why I usually like to try to eyeball because I don't like to waste my material. But sometimes you need to make sure that things are going to line up properly. So this is really a great way to help you do that. So now I'm going to go ahead and send this to the machine, and then I'll show you how to layer it from there. I've gone ahead, I've cut the 3 layers and I've weeded them, and I've already applied the transfer tape to them. So if you need to know how to do that, I have another video that I will put a link below, and you can check that out if you need to know how to weed vinyl and put the transfer tape on. But this is really just to show how to layer it. So the first thing I always like to do is clean my work surface too with alcohol, the surface where you're going to apply the vinyl. So I've already gone ahead and cleaned my little sign with alcohol, and you want to make sure you have a scraper. I also like to put my bottom layer and keep it on one of the sticky mats, just to help keep the back carrier flat. Also, you want to make sure that you have your back piece cut as large as whatever the widest layer is, because you're going to apply the other 2 layers on top of this. Now, the first time when I was doing a run through, I didn't do that, so lesson learned. So you can see a little cut mark here, and then I realized that I had to make that the same size as my biggest layer. So when you're layering, if you have multiple colors and they're not touching each other, it probably really doesn't matter which layer goes on first, but these are going directly on top of one another, so I need to make sure that I have them in the correct order. So first it's going to be the blue layer, then the sort of bronzy gold layer, and then the layer with the text on it that's off white. So I've got this down on here. I've got my transfer tape already applied. So all you're doing is lining up the squares. So what I like to do too is I'm just going to put this on top of this, just because I've been known to drop it and mess it up before I was ready to drop the full thing. So all you're doing is taking it and lining up your squares as perfect as you can get them. Okay, so I like to, if I can, put my thumb on it just to make sure I hold it down, and then gently remove that. And then you want to make sure that you're doing this as straight as possible, and you just drop it carefully. Burnish it down, the technique that you use to scrape it down to make sure it's as adhered as possible. Get out any bubbles, and then gently and carefully peel up your transfer liner. I still have my glitter nail polish on from some Struts concerts last weekend and New Year's Eve. Happy New Year, everybody. 2020, a new year, right? Okay, so now we're going to do the same thing with the other layer. Again, I just like to have a little buffer in there. So although I probably need something bigger. This one, I'm just going to be really careful and line up that top layer there. Gently drop it down. Pull this out. And there we go. Burnish it down. I wouldn't want to do any more than maybe 3 layers of color. If they're separated out in different areas and they're not right on top of one another, you can probably do as many as you want. But because I'm putting some of these directly on top of one another, I didn't want to do that. So now I can pull this off of the mat. And now we're gonna, we've got all the 3 layers together. So we've got all 3 of those layers together. Now we're gonna remove the back piece. Just be careful. I try to make sure I have the liner as flat as possible. Everything's coming up on this pretty good. Nothing's sticking. Sometimes you have older vinyl and it doesn't peel up that easy. Well, now we don't need those little squares anymore, so I'm just going to cut that off. You can trim that right off the top. You could trim it off before you peel it if you like, but I don't think it really matters. Okay. And we have our layers of vinyl. So now I'm going to just go ahead and drop it on the sign. Now here, obviously, I'm just going to eyeball this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use the center here of the edge of the design with the ampersand, because I know that that is sort of the center. And just eyeball it vertically. I like to kind of fold the sides up a little bit. And then drop it down carefully from the center. You can work either side. If you're left-handed, you might go the other direction. I don't know. There we go. That's on there. I'm just going to make sure it's on there. Good. Rub it down. And now peel the tape up. Yeah. There we go. Turn this sideways. There's a little one that didn't want to stay down. You can grab it with your finger sometimes. Carefully, carefully pull that up. There we go. And again, you can save your transfer tape and use it over and again. And I always save the back carriers for it, so you can put that on there. And that's how you layer vinyl. So pretty easy. And you just got to take your time, and registration marks really help. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. See you next time.